I'll start us off. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are the Expanding Access to Duke Forest Data team, and today we're just excited to be sharing our progress over these 10 weeks, from the problem we were initially presented with to the solution we came up with for it, and just our progress in between. And two quick acknowledgements before we jump right in. First of all the pictures that you will see in these slides have been taken within the Duke Forest. So thank you to Blake Tedder for sending those to us. And secondly, if you have any questions, please either send them in the chat or wait until the end and we will answer them then. Thank you. And I'm Layla Nelson. I'm a rising junior majoring in computer science.
I'm Madeline Jones. I'm a rising sophomore studying computer science and environmental science.
I'm Gene Yang, a rising sophomore studying computer science and biology.
I'm Aiden Hernandez, a rising sophomore studying mechanical engineering.
And I'm Morgan Feist, a rising junior studying electrical and computer engineering.
And then again, we'd like to extend a special thanks to John Herr, our project lead, Mike Worley, our data advisor, that's also given us a lot of help with Splunk, Liam Kathari, our project manager, Duke Forest staff, who have been our primary stakeholders and offered a lot of guidance, and finally, Splunk, our corporate sponsor. Our problem 10 weeks ago when we came in was that generally the Duke Forest data was inaccessible. As they've been a research forest since 1931, they have collected a lot of data throughout the years. However, this data and the workflow revolving around its maintenance, how to share it, analyze it, or just generally access it required a lot of manual effort and time and energy spent with all parties involved. And these involved parties can be broken down into our three target audiences that were affected by this problem and that we wanted to help with our solution. So first, we have prospective researchers, and those are researchers from all over the world that are considering conducting their research within the Duke Forest. Then we have current researchers, and those are, you become a current researcher after they've filled out the registration and have been given a research site within the forest. And finally, we have the Duke Forest staff. And all three audiences have similar problems in the sense that all had to engage in this kind of back and forth communication whenever they had questions about data or needed further data. And in addition, anytime analysis of this data had to be conducted, all three audiences would have to open up ArcGIS or a similar geospatial analysis software and perform their own analysis there, which can be very time consuming and tricky if you're not familiar with the technology.
So the first step that our team took to develop a solution was to determine the project requirements. So first, the Duke Forest data should be available for current researchers to access and download for their individual research analysis. Second, there should be a mapping tool for visualizing and filtering forest data so that the prospective researchers can determine a suitable research site. Prospective researchers should also be provided with information about official research registration at the Duke Forest, as well as the actual registration form. There should also be separate permissions for current and prospective researchers so that current researchers can access downloadable data while prospective researchers can only access the mapping features. And lastly, we needed to create a guide for the Duke Forest that would instruct them on how to manage and, maintain the site that we create.
So let's go ahead and talk about our solution to the problems. So our team decided that the best solution would be to make a data-focused portal, and this would streamline the experience of researchers and staff to interact with the Duke Forest. It also made it easy to protect all the data behind a firewall using Shibboleth and NetID. And because it was all in one place, it would also make it easy for the Duke Forest staff to maintain and the researchers to use all the features that we would provide. So the research interface, let's go through each researcher. So there's prospective researchers, and they would get access to the Duke portal. And the prospective researchers would find the best suited areas in the forest by using our interactive map and layering features that it provided, while current researchers would have the same layering map and interactive features that the prospective researcher had, but they would also have the added benefit of being able to download data that the Duke Forest provided to us, meaning that they could use their own tools and such to be able to focus and analyze the data by themselves. And the final beneficiary would be the Duke Forest staff, who would be able to upload and maintain data through the portal easily through a added benefit of a management portal that we provided.
Welcome to a demo of the Duke Forest Data Portal. To begin, we land on a login page for prospective and current researchers. The small text at the bottom explains the need for a temporary password in order to access the site, which would be provided by the Duke Forest staff to the researcher. Let's go ahead and log in. The Duke Forest Data Portal's homepage. If you scroll down, you find a little section about the Duke Forest itself with a button linking to the Duke Forest's main website. Scroll further and you find a section detailing how to use the data portal itself, with resources for teachers and researchers alike. This next section includes information about the interactive map and how to use it. And the last section includes information about downloading data. This is our interactive map. It is currently loading. You can see all the different divisions which are included in the Duke Forest, with the menu on the
Did we lose audio?
I think you need to unmute Madeline.
Sorry.
You could also use this left search bar to look. For example, if I click cover types 2019, it populates the map with the most recent data. You could also use this left search bar to look for specific divisions in the Duke Forest. I'm going to go ahead and type in Blackwood and click on the suggestion. You can see that it brings me in on the map. You could click around on the map itself to find out more information. Here, you can see a pop-up appeared, which has information from the currently selected layers. If I click on another layer and click on the highlighted area, you can see that new information has appeared. Moving on to our next feature, go ahead and click Data Download on the navbar. This brings us to a data agreement form provided by the Duke Forest. Since I'm already logged in, my NetID is saved. Go ahead and click the checkbox and click Submit. Since I've already logged into SHIB, it did not ask for my login, but it usually does. We've made it to the box site where you can see all the files that are available to researchers. You can go ahead and click one, more options, and download. And you can see that I successfully downloaded it. Our final feature is a management portal for the Duke Forest staff and can be found on the bottom right of our login page where it says Configure Website. Once clicked, you'll reach a new window for the administration portal with text explaining what you can do with the portal and who should be able to access it. Go ahead and click Sign in with Shibboleth, and you'll get to a Duke login page. Here, only people with approved NetIDs can log in. I'll go ahead and log in. And now I have access to the management portal. You can see that the Duke Forest staff would have access to the most current temporary password and would be able to change it on the right. They can also edit text by clicking one of these drop-down menus, typing, and then saving and applying changes. Going back to the top, you can see there's an option to view information about users. If you click here, you can see the NetIDs that downloaded data, the date they signed the data agreement form, and which version of the data agreement form they signed.
So now that we have taken a look at a demonstration of our product/website, let's take a look at a technical overview of the backend architecture of our product. So currently our website is being hosted on the cloud using the Duke OKD, which stands for like the Duke OpenShift Kubernetes distribution. And this will be used to deploy services, containers, or images made using Docker. Now, like, what is it? So OKD is a tool that lets you deploy an application that's split up into multiple essential packages. And these packages are can be containers, but are services which encapsulate various dependencies, functions, and libraries together to make the application as a whole more maintainable and in smaller parts known as services. And thus the OKD allows all of these different services to interact in a larger application. And so on this slide, we can see some of the various tools used to develop our backend server. And these tools can be encapsulated in containers of services, which include a shibboleth gate, a web server application, a data formatter, and a database. So the user of our application can interact with these services by first accessing our shibboleth gate, which also serves as a reverse proxy to our web server application. And the web server application will serve up the HTML and other static files associated with our website. And this web server will also communicate with the database, which contains all the processed geospatial data that we have received from the Duke Forest. And furthermore, using the Box API, the data formatter will be able to access the most up-to-date Duke Forest data, which is stored in Box, and convert the data into formats such as GeoJSON that can be used by our leaflet map and also be downloaded by current researchers. Furthermore, the data formatter also serves as a scheduler, which can change the temporary access password on a quarterly basis and also update the process data used by the application on another schedule.
So the front-end tools. The website itself is built using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Furthermore, a leaflet JavaScript library was used to build the interactive map feature. One box interface allows the Duke Forest to upload data, while another box interface allows the Duke Forest researchers to download processed data. While Grouper makes it easy for the Duke Forest staff to manage net IDs and the permissions that they have. And Google Analytics provides an interface to easily keep track of traffic on the portal. And Splunk allowed our team to view the data in a new way.
So Splunk was the first tool that we used in our development process, and also they were our corporate sponsor. So Splunk is a software platform which is commonly used by businesses to search, analyze, and visualize data. And while most Splunk users are aiming to analyze machine-generated data from places like websites and sensors, our team was able to use the platform with the geospatial data collected within the Duke Forest. So we utilized Splunk's powerful searching capabilities to familiarize ourselves with the geospatial data. And we also use their map visualization tool to filter and cross-search forest data. So the final product of our work with Splunk can be seen with this dashboard. And this is only a screenshot of part of the dashboard, but as you can see at the top of the screen, there are options to filter the forest cover data by various attributes such as cover type or the year that the data was collected. And after the attributes have been selected, the map on the left displays the forest areas that match those queries. And the table on the right displays the related information of those areas. And we use Splunk primarily as a prototyping tool for the map that we ended up using in our final product.
So there are a few overall benefits of our data portal. One is that our product is essentially production ready. It's already running on an OKD server. It's able to be easily maintained and edited by the Duke Forest staff. And it has all of the features necessary to fit the Duke Forest requirements, which includes the registration info section, the interactive map, and the data download portal. Furthermore, our website's beneficial to researchers and that the site makes it much easier for them to find suitable research sites. There's no need for ArcGIS knowledge. No need to figure out how to configure the data. Rather, they can just open the leaflet map and easily click around all of the forest data. Plus, our interface uses the Box API for a streamlined way to download data, which means all of the data will be in one place in an easy to use format. For the Duke Forest staff, our interface helps minimize their workflow and that they no longer need to individually email data or constantly respond to detailed research site questions. Instead, they can direct current and prospective researchers to the website and their work is done. Plus, the map interface itself is helpful to Duke Forest staff because it compiles all of their data in a simple visualization so they can explore data over multiple years without opening ArcGIS. We also had a few ideas for possible future developments for our project. One is that because we decided to prioritize the research focus of our interface, we didn't focus as much on the separate Duke Forest staff goal of quickly responding to forest disturbances, like weather-related emergencies. And we also had the idea to display